Shalom Aleichem, dear sisters and brothers, how are you doing? That's the place today the Creator lead me to teach you from, and hopefully we will enjoy our learning, and Bezat Hashem we will enjoy the beauty of creation. Creation is beautiful from outside when you look at things physically, and creation is beautiful when you look at things from inside, when you look at the spiritual meaning and the core of it, the real purpose of it. Why the sky is blue, why the grass is green, why the fish swims in the water, why birds flies in the sky. There are answers to everything. Every detail of creation is planted in a very, very holy ground and represents something very, very highly, very, very deep and great. And it's very important for the person who desires and seeks for the good to find the real wisdom that the Creator is hiding, because the real purpose of creation is to uplift us spiritually. It's to bring us to a place that we will become our true, in play with our true nature, and not gonna fake in reality because of the struggles and the difficulties that we are facing. And Baruch Hashem, I wanted to continue a little bit reading with you the second Torah, from the second Torah in Likutei Moharan. And like we learned yesterday, that the main weapon of Mashiach is the prayer, that is in the aspect of a nose, like it's written, Utehilati echetom lach. So the nose is a spiritual aspect of patience, of faith. And why do we know? Where do we learn it from? Of course, there are verses who teach us that, but in Torah 155, Rabbi Nachman is explaining something very, very deep about faith. And Rabbi Nachman is saying that when a person has faith, so then he has that aspect of the power of growth in him. He can grow, and then nothing can damage him, and he's not scared of no person and no thing, and he pray with life and with joy and with passion like he should, and he has the power to make all the travels that he need to see righteous people and to do things in his life, because he's not scared and not afraid of anything in the world. But when a person has a lacking in his faith, so then he does not have that power of growth to grow, and then he's rotten completely, like a seed in the ground that will just die and melt and rot in earth if he does not have the power to grow. He will become part of the ground. And that is the aspect of patience, that a person will have patience. All that explanation that Rabbi Nachman explained on faith, that the person will have faith, and it means that he's able to deal with challenges, and he can grow, and he can rise, and he can shine, and he can do his work and not be afraid of any of the challenges and difficulties in his life, is in the aspect of patience. Let's see why Rabbi Nachman is comparing faith to patience. Rabbi Nachman explains The fact that he's not scared of anything and he does not being confused, he doesn't let any of the difficulties and challenges in his life to confuse him and to reject him, cancel him from his work, just to do what he knows that he's supposed to do. That is the aspect of patience, that nothing can confuse him, because he does not care about anything that happens around him, just doing what he needs to do while serving Hashem Yitbarach, the Blessed One, the Creator. Because that aspect of being patient is depend in the aspect of faith. Because as long as people are worshipping idols, and now we're not talking about worship idols like people that are worshipping idols over there, oh, those horrible people. No. We're talking about you. We're talking about me. We're talking about people that are lack of faith, and that their lack of faith is compared to idols, idolizing idols worshippers. Like when you, for an example, follow your fears, so by following your fears, you are worshipping idols. It's an aspect. Why? Because you are not counting on Hashem. And instead of calling Hashem to help you, and instead of being confident that Hashem is already with you, you're calling your lawyer, you're calling your doctor, you're calling your father-in-law, you're calling your friends to assist you and to help you. So by that, you're putting your trust in flesh and bones, and in people, and in money, in power, in connections, in politics, instead of being really connected to faith. So it's an aspect of avodah zarah, of worshipping idols. And as long as there are people who does not believe completely in Hashem and worshipping idols, they have trust in physical things. So there's still judgments in the world, there is still angers in the world. And the way that the words judgments and angers are written here, Rabbi Nachman is using the word charon af. It means like steam that comes out of the nose, like the dragon's nose, that fire and smoke and steam is coming out of a furious person's nose because of his anger. So patience is the opposite of that. Patience is the opposite of that, because there, in that nose, in that aspect of the ability of yours to breathe, you are relaxed, and your nose is not steaming, and you're not furious, and your spirit is not running in flames. Everything is cool, and you can deal with that, and you believe, and you breathe, and you relax. And when a person has faith, that is the opposite from worshipping idols, the judgments and angers are being cancelled, and the person achieves patience and faith, that he will have the power to breathe and to overpower every confusion and to pass every obstacle that he goes through in his life, in his prayers and in his work, to be able to bear everything and not to fall to no sadness and to no laziness because of that. Just gonna hold himself. He'll have the power to hold himself strong and not to care at all for all those confusions that are attacking him and trying to reject him from his honest work. And he finds the power to pass above all those obstacles and not to pay attention to all the confusions and obstacles at all. And all of that is the aspect of erech hapayim, patience, that a person can achieve by having faith. That it's the power to grow and to rise. And by that a person can grow and rise and bloom in his work, because nothing can confuse him, nothing can reject him and push him down to sadness and laziness, God forbid, to hold him back by that. Just the person finds power to do his job in a fast way, to be positive, to be happy, and not to look on all those confusions at all. So Rabbi Nachman is revealing to us on the power of Mashiach. Now we're going back to Torah Bet, to the second Torah that we just started to learn together. And we see over there that Mashiach, he is in the aspect of prayer, that Mashiach, he is his main weapon is the power of prayer, that the prayer is in the aspect of the nose. So the prayer depends in the faith, like we know that it's written on Moses, Vehi yadav emunah, that his hands were full with faith. The verse is saying Vehi yadav emunah, his hands were hands of faith. And Rashi that explained that verse by saying that Perisan Betzlo, that he spread them in prayer. Like a person that is praying and he's raising his hands to the sky like that, he was opening his arms wide to the Creator and prayed and talked. When you pray to God, when you pray to the Creator, by that you're showing your faith. And this is why your hands, when they're in the air, they're showing that you try to hold on to someone, that you have faith, that you're connecting yourself to the Creator. And that's the beauty of our Torah that is called Torat Chaim. It's the Torah of life. Those are not just verses that are written in the book. This is the real secret and code of our lives. And Mashiach, he has the biggest patience ever. This is why he has the power to treat nutcases like us, and to help the most sickest people around the world, and to be with them, and to spend time with them, and to relax them, and to hug them, and to care about them. That will be his job. That will be his occupation. Always to spend time with the broken-hearted, with all those devastated ones, with those ones who been to the fire of hell and drowned in the swamps of despair and sadness, to those ones who lost their sanity to drugs and to alcohol, all those that has been traumatized by life, by all exiled and powers of darkness. He will have the ability to sit with us and to pet us and to hug us and to take us as individuals, everyone, to spend enough time with him and to put him on his lap and to care about him and to love him and to show the real tremendous love of the Creator to his children. He will be that one to have the ability. And the verse is saying on Yaakov, Becharbi ubekashti, with my sword and with my bow and arrow. And Rashi explained that Yaakov was not talking about a physical weapon, bow and arrow or a sword. Rashi was talking about prayer. Rashi was saying that Yaakov was talking about prayer and requests. So you see that Yaakov, all his wars that he was fighting was also through prayer. So that's not an advice for us, it's a wake-up call, it's an alarm clock, it's a shofar blowing, it's a crazy alarm that is calling us to wake up, to pray, to use those tools and that weapon that been given to us by the Creator to open our mouths finally and really to go and call Hashem and to call the Creator and to demand and to ask for our needs, for everything that we need. And a person, for him to succeed in that, he must be very, very strong and very, very solid and very, very stubborn, not to back off from prayers, never to give up on prayers. And we must dedicate a special time every day to pray for our needs, to ask the requests that are so important for us. People are going through such crazy pain, and we ourselves, every individual, everyone, we're going through such severe experiences and like we're all like being terrorized and scared and depressed and broken and going through so many difficulties, and people are suffering from financial stress and health issues and housing and relationships, and like it's just like there is no end to the judgments and to the poverty that a person can experience in his lifetime. And since the day that the temple has been destroyed, we lost something very, very unique, a spiritual thing, and that thing is the power of prayer. Why? Because the temple of God, we know that that was the house of prayer, and it's written on the temple of God that in that day that it will be rebuilt. So the house will be called the house of prayer for all nations. Ki beiti bet tefillah yikareh lechol ha'amim. It will be called the house of prayer for all nations. So the ability to pray, that is the house of prayer, that is the real temple for prayers, and not all the temporary ones. That is the real established one, the heavenly one. It will be the one who will give the power to all nations to pray, to all people from all different cultures, different natures, all of them together as one, to stand and to pray. And since the day of the destruction, more than 2,000 years ago, of the temple, we lost something that is connecting us to prayer. And therefore, every time that we are in trouble, what that we do immediately is everything else except for prayer. Except for praying, we're doing everything. When you have trouble in life, you do whatever it takes to do except for praying. You're gonna call all your contacts, you're gonna send email to all your mailing list, you're gonna call, talk, knock on doors, go beg, go cry, go drink vodka. You're gonna even put this stinky, disgusting drink into your mouth with the intention to help yourself somehow. You're gonna put gasoline to your mouth because you want the salvation, but you're not gonna go and pray. That's how crazy the destruction is. That's how far and deep we are in the exile, that people will fall to drugs, will fall to alcohol, will fall to such foreign places just because they don't want to pray, just because they cannot find the power to pray. And prayer became such a foreign thing, like, oh, what? How can I do it? What do you mean? Rav, can you explain to me how can I do it bodedut? And like, I understand but you must understand too, the difficulty to do it bodedut is not coming because hit bodedut is such a hard thing. Prayer is such a hard thing. No, it's the most simple thing in the world. Just that there is such a heavy blockage that is blocking our eyesight from understanding the importance and greatness of that simple act of prayer. We're praying and we don't feel that we're being answered once or twice, so that's it. You're done. Think about a person that is starving and he will put one fork and a second bite to his mouth, and after a second bite he will feel that he's still hungry, and then he will say, okay, but I ate 2 bites and it didn't help me, so I'm going to do something else. No. A hungry person will keep on eating and eating until he will be totally satisfied, full, that's it. Oh yeah, I'm done. Why you're done? Because you ate a full plate, you took another dish, it was not enough, and you finished with an apple and another cookie. If you were totally hungry, you drank another cup, and you're going to feed yourself until you will feel the satisfaction from that eating. Now, spiritually, the person is very much open and exposed to spiritual effect, to dark energy that can break him and can destroy him, and tries all the time to block him from achieving the goals and the things that really will help him to establish his life and to rise and to shine and to succeed and to grow. And the main thing is the prayer. That spiritually you pray once, you pray twice, and you say, okay, like, so I was calling the clouds, okay, so I was talking to the sky, felt like talking to myself, I'm not sure if my prayer been accepted or not, and that's where you drop it. But you should not never ever drop the prayer, because the prayer is the main weapon that we have against our enemies, and we have tons of enemies, and we need to destroy them, and we declare war against evil. And here we are declaring war against evil, and that's what we do. All the good people together, Jewish, non-Jewish, Israelis, non-Israelis, Gentiles, whatever you are, Mexican, Texan, African, Jamaican, European, German, French, Chinese, Indonesian, Israeli, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, whatever you want to be called. I don't care and could not care less. If you're a good person, you're with us and you're in, and we want you and we love you and we accept you, and we are in the middle of a war, so give us a hand because we're fighting evil. And that's what we do. We're exposing evil. That's what we do. We are here to attack evil, and we are here to defend the good, and with our sources and with our power and with our energy, we're going to give the maximum that we can. And it's not a war that started in our generation. The real righteous and pure ones are already fighting that war for years on years on years. Like the verse is saying, Milchama Lashem ba'Amalek midor dor. The Creator Himself is fighting the Amalek, the Amalekites, through the generations. In every generation you have a different shape of Amalek. He is hiding himself and disguising himself in different forms, in different shapes, through different people, different nations, different languages. One time he can be a real murderer that goes and slaughter people. In another time he can hide behind the pages of internet and to be so sophisticated and gentle. Sometimes he can come through poverty, sometimes through plagues. Sometimes he can come from inside, sometimes he can come from outside. He's attacking the person from in and from out. And therefore a person needs to be tuned and strong and powerful to declare, I am a warrior against evil. And where I recognize evil, that's where I shoot. You can shoot yourself in the leg if your leg is evil. If you find yourself that you're kicking people, you need to hold yourself tight. You need to tie yourself. If you see that other people are kicking others, you need to shoot their legs. You need to fight with their legs. You need to hold them back. If people are doing things with money, you need to hold their money behind. If you see people using their mouths to kill, you need to shut their mouths. If you see that you are abusing people with your mouth, you need to shut your own mouth. It is not important where your war gonna be, as long as you're fighting evil. If you see that you need to control yourself, control yourself. If you see that you should stop someone from hurting someone else weaker than him, open to abuse, you need to go and stop that abuse. It's your mission and it's your job. Not for no reason you have been exposed for that. If you hear screamings from your next door neighbor's house every night, every day, it's your job to assist. I don't hear those screamings. How can I go and help them? How can I go and help them? You need to go and help them. This is why you hear those screams. So you need to go and wisely think about a solution and go and do your job. Sometimes your job will be to pray for their happiness and success. Sometimes it will be to put your hand into your wallet and to take out a bill of $100 and to assist them weekly or monthly. Sometimes it will be to take the husband or the wife to a nice conversation, to spend time with them, to become friends with them. I don't know, every time it's something else. You need to be honest and to find the inner kindness of yours and to go and redeem the world. Go and bring salvation. You hear me? Very good. So go do your job and start functioning, or keep on functioning and do the best you can. We are in the middle of a great battle and our hands are on top. And we're in it to win it and to succeed and to rise and to shine and to redeem the world completely from the hands of the Amalekites and the dark forces of evil. And that's it. No one's going to stop us now. The world does not exist. Because Olam Milshon Ne'elem, the world is just blocking the light of truth. The world called Alma Deshika, world of light, is just a fake. We're just inside of an illusion. It's just a fake. We're just inside of an illusion.